Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is a little bit different for the channel. I've been wanting to branch out and do some little different videos here and there, and I decided this video I will go through all of the stash of books and little bits that I've been collecting over the past probably 2+ years, with a big hiatus in the middle, by the way. But I have been collecting a bunch of stuff for Ephemera. I love going through charity shops and browsing the books, for both for things to read and to find things for putting in my journals. So I've been collecting for a while now. Obviously there is a lot of books here and I wouldn't be able to go through all of these myself. So part of it is finding stuff for myself to use, but then also I do want to create ephemera bundles in the future. So you can expect something like that coming in the near future, hopefully. But I thought I would just go through the books today and give you a look at what I've collected so far. I don't know about you, but rummaging through a charity shop is like one of my favorite things. It doesn't even need to be for ephemera. I just love kind of going through and seeing what little treasures I can find. So yeah, I thought I could share my finds with you all today. So let me go through all of these and I can just kind of have a little bit of a chat through my thoughts and what kind of stuff I maybe would be using it in, and I hope you enjoy. So first up we have this stack of life books. This is the only one that's slightly different. The other ones in the pack all seem to be the exact same, so they must have come from a collection, but I found these all in the same charity shop. So this one is titled The First Men, and you can see there's like a nice cream cover. It's actually quite a nice textured paper. So that's what I love about these kind of older books, is you can find some really lovely textured kind of natural colored papers, and even just like the subtle pattern that you find in some of them. But yeah, there's lots of really cool pictures and like diagrams and things like that. I love being able to kind of take snippets of different things for page backgrounds or even just the text. Like there's a really amazing drawing. It looks like maybe charcoal or something. That's really cool. I love having the different styles throughout the book that you can use. So yeah, that is the first one. I think this is the main reason I picked this one up, because I really like the skull illustrations that I found in it, and then the bones and stuff. So that one's that. Next up we have a selection that all seems to be from the same collection. I don't know if there are more to this collection or not. I have 4. I'm not sure if there are more, but they all seem really cool. This one's the mammals. So obviously lots of stuff about the mammals, lots of really cool diagrams, again, photographs and different bits and pieces and textures and colors. Like I can find, you see I've used some of them, like there's certain things that I would use the whole page for, like a texture or a background, or maybe like, for example, something like this, you could fussy cut around it, and you could just come up with some really cool journaling pages with some of this stuff. I recently used one of the sheets, I think, from one of these books whenever I was doing my reading journal spread, and I think that the texture was actually a texture of some sort of like, it was possibly, I think it was some sort of animal, maybe like a lizard or crocodile or something, but the way that it was, the way the picture looked, oh look at that orange, isn't that such a vibrant color? I love this color. It was, the texture of it made it look like dragon scales, and one of the books that I'd read was about dragons. It was the Rebecca Yarros Fourth Wing and Iron Flame books, and the texture was just so perfect I had to use it. So like you can really kind of go outside the box whenever you're looking at the different textures and things, and like I just love being able to kind of flip through a book like this and land on a page and base a whole spread around it. Like I could flick through and find an image I really like or a texture I really like, and that can be the basis of my entire spread. Whenever I'm just journaling for fun to create something artistic on my pages, I love being able to just flick through books like this. I think it's going to take a lot for me to part with taking stuff out of these books to put into packs, because I love being able to flick through them. So it's going to take a while for me to part with them, but I will eventually. But yeah, I think like I especially love and gravitate towards books that tend to have like animals and nature and a variety of not only images but illustrations and diagrams and text, because there's just so much that you could do with it. Like this could make a really cool background for like a Halloween or more spooky style spread, and then like you could put some fussy cut stuff over the top. So yeah, I look at this, like so much different variety that you can get from one book. And I love being able to give like a second life to something that somebody has had and read and looked over, and being able to, you know, use it for something a little bit different and a little bit more creative in my own way, which I think is really cool. So I'd love to know if you go to like different shops and pick up books and stuff like this, or do you have found ephemera or gathered stuff? I tend to save a lot of my packaging and different bits and pieces, like from mail that I've got, or packaging sometimes even from like food. Not if it's like wet food obviously, but dry food. I tend to pick up a lot of that sort of stuff and keep it if I think it might be good in a journal. Like something that can be really cool is like tea packets. There's a lot of different kind of interesting imagery in tea packets. Okay, here's my next set. This one here is actually probably the first book I ever picked up with the intention of using it for ephemera. It's a stamp catalogue. So it's like stamps from all over the world, just in almost like a dictionary format. But the paper's super thin. It's really thin paper, which is great for ephemera, because sometimes whenever you put ephemera into your journals, it'll make your books chunky, which I don't mind, but you don't want to get them so chunky that they don't fit anywhere. I mean, maybe you do, but I prefer not to make mine super chunky. So paper like this is great, plus the kind of aged cream kind of look on it I think is really pretty, and having a mixture of the different texts and different stamps in that. I tend to use this quite a lot as background whenever I'm doing journal spreads, because of I feel like it anchors the page really well. Plus, if you wanted to, you could like cut around the stamps as well individually, instead of just using the page as an ephemera page. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do with it, and there's obviously so many different images of stamps in here that I mean, this could last forever. I would never be able to go through this myself, so this is kind of what sparked me thinking about potentially offering ephemera packs in the future. And I got this book 2020. It was potentially in 2020. I actually have a video, I think, where this is in it, potentially from years ago. So this is what started it all, and I feel like finally, either at the end of 2024 or the beginning of 2025, I will finally get to the point where I have enough stuff that I can actually make ephemera packs to give to other people. So it's pretty cool that it's all starting to come together eventually now. And then I got this big one not that long ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, potentially. This is another kind of encyclopedia type book. I find the encyclopedias and dictionary type ones are always the best, because they're going through like a multitude of different items and stories and history, and like it gives you the most variety in terms of stuff that you can use. I also really love the font that they've used in this one. So I really like the idea of being able to pick out random little words and using those in my spreads too. And the fact that the images in this one are quite small. So knowing that some of the other books that I've got are like very large imagery, and it takes a lot more kind of the page up, and it would be more of a background thing. I love that this one has lots of tiny little illustrations that you can cut up and use, and kind of be able to use in different size journals, because the biggest journal I have is A5, but I also have A6 as well, so it's nice to be able to get these smaller illustrations to fit in and play around with as well. So yeah, I love this one. I think the children's encyclopedias especially tend to be really good options if you're ever looking out in like charity shops and stuff. They try the kids section because they sometimes have really cool things too. Plus kids books as well, if they're like old school kind of illustrations, can be really fun too. And then recently, whenever I was on a holiday with my family, there was this little bookshop, and it has, I think it's all secondhand books, some new books, and it is a treasure trove. I mean, like top to bottom, floor to ceiling, shelves everywhere, boxes of books everywhere. It's like you could spend hours and hours searching through, and we did. We were in there for like 2 hours, I think, just looking through. It was amazing. I loved it. Being able to just find different things that you can use. Plus, I love these little hardback books because an idea that I've had as well is to make my own journal, or like a junk journal type style, where, you know, if I rip out a bunch of stuff from the book to make ephemera packs and use ephemera myself, I can use the covers to make my own journals because I love how the cover looks, especially in these two. Like the illustrations are amazing. So I think that's kind of a future plan for me as well, because like as you can see, this one is basically falling apart anyway. The spine is missing. They've just taped it together. So that's what kind of gave me the idea and sparked the plan in my head whenever I saw this. I was like, oh, this is amazing, because I can use the kind of pages inside and rip a bunch of them out for my own ephemera or the packs that I'm making. But then I can use the cover to make my own journal, which I think would look really cool, because it's kind of an average size as well. Like it's almost similar in size to my bullet journal anyway, so it's something I'm used to. And I have more plans for how I'm going to want to journal going forward, so that'll be another video that I'm going to talk about, where I'm going to talk through my current journal lineup and my plans for the future, because I've been thinking a lot about it recently. So I will go more into that in another video. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in watching. So yeah, there's that one, which is basically purposely bought for that reason, and to use the pages on the inside for background kind of ephemera. But this one I almost didn't find, and I searched and searched and searched. I went to the garden section in the books. I mean, the shop didn't have tons of proper sections. It was quite scattered, but they did have some segmented areas, and there was a gardening area. So that's another tip, is to look for gardening books, because you can find some really cool books and illustrations and different pieces when you're looking for books like that. So this one has lots of different cacti and succulents, as you can see. It's such a nifty little size too, so I'm really excited to potentially turn this into a journal as well, because I feel like this would be perfect for just throwing into your bag if you wanted to like go to a coffee shop and do some journaling and just throw a little few bits and pieces in and take it with you. It's just so nice and neat. So yeah, there's like tons of really cool like imagery. And to be honest, this is probably a book that I will actually look through and read, because I love learning about plants and stuff. I don't feel like I have naturally a green thumb, but I love plants. I just wish they would stay more alive for me. So they have some incredible illustrations in these ones, and they're like perfect sizes, perfectly lined up in the pages. You know, there's text on one side and an image on the other. So I think this will make some really, really beautiful fussy cut ephemera. Like you can cut around the edges and stuff and make some really cool imagery for layering and pieces like that. So yeah, I have tons. I have background ephemera. I have ephemera that has the ability to be fussy cut. I have lots of text and images and tons of illustrations and lots of really cool stuff. That's kind of what I've gathered and what I remember I've gathered. I have a whole drawer in my desk that is filled with all sorts of ephemera that I've gathered just personally. That's more for without the intention of using it in the future for other people. But it is a mess. There is no organization to it at all. So again, that is another video idea I've had for the future. So if you'd like to see me organize my ephemera, let me know in the comments, and I will film that, because it desperately needs some organization, as do my sticker sheets. So there's a lot of organization stuff probably coming up in the channel in the near future. So I hope you're interested in that kind of content, and I will be making more journaling spreads with this sort of stuff, and I can show you kind of how I'm putting the ephemera packs together whenever I get around to it. I'm still quite busy at the moment because it is summer still. My kid isn't back to school for another 4 weeks. Very long summer, but that means that I am a little bit pushed for time with getting things done. So the ephemera packs, I'm not really sure when that will happen, but I will be making videos as and when I can, hoping to stick to the weekly routine. I feel like I'm back on track, and I have lots of plans for the channel and the videos that I want to come in the future, but that will probably be a slow kind of progress because I obviously need certain time to myself to be able to film certain things. Like right now I can only film in the evening, and normally I can't film with like chatting like this back and forth while I'm filming because I share an office with my husband, but he is not in the office right now, and it means I was able to record this. So you can expect lots of things coming in the near future for the channel, and if you have any suggestions for types of videos you would like to see from me, I would love to hear them in the comments. You can leave a comment below suggesting what it is you'd like to see. But other than that, I'm going to leave it here, and I will catch up with you in the next video. I hope you're having a wonderful day and having lots of fun journaling in your own way. You can catch me over on Instagram if you want to see my more day-to-day stuff and behind the business scenes sort of things. So other than that, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of the content on my channel. Lots of journaling videos and planning videos. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Stay cozy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.